Hi everyone, welcome back to .NET 7 Minimal API series. In today's video, we are going to see how we can access or expose static content through Minimal API. How we can do that, I will come that to later. But before that, let me recap what we have done so far. We have covered a lot. If you have missed anything, you can go to the playlist of Minimal API in this channel. We have started with CRUD operations, get, put, post, and delete endpoints were implemented. Then we came into filters. We implemented some of the use cases where we need filters and what are the usefulness of those filters. Then we came into middleware and we started with global exceptional handling, and then we converted that one into a proper middleware. Today we are going to see how we can use static content in minimal APIs. The use case is, let's say we want to expose an API with mock data, and it's very normal that we have already data in JSON file, or we have created data randomly through in the form of JSON files, and we want to expose that as a endpoint. What we can do it, let's see today. I will start that one with the um, enable static content in minimal APIs. And I will start with using one of its method, which is use file server, and it needs a new instance of file server options. And I will initialize those options with file provider, and that will be a new physical file provider, this one here. And I will bind it to a directory of the solution, the current executing directory. Get current directory, that was the first parameter, and the second parameter is name of the folder which has that static content. Let's say we have static content folder inside our solution. I already have created that here, so I will use same name, static content. So that will be the name of that folder, and it already have a record. And let's say I duplicate that one with ID of 2 and name of the, let's say, user is Ali. And in the above scenario, I can use name Usman, like this. All right. So now we have data.json. We already have configured uh, that method, that extension method, and we have provided the physical file provider. All right, let me just rerun the application and see if we can access that data from the minimal API. All right, so that was the by default view of our project. And if I try to expose or try to access data.json, now you will see a data is coming from that endpoint, right? This is the same data we have written in our data.json file. Interestingly, if you go to the network, the request in the request and response properties, you can see that the content type is already application slash JSON from the backend. Interestingly, which is what we required. So we don't need to configure those headers. Those will be handled by the minimal API. We just need data to place inside a folder, and with maximum 3 lines, we can configure the access to that data. So this is how we can configure the JSON content. But what if we have the HTML content inside minimal API? Minimal API is the um, project type which is used to provide data, access to the data. But what if we have HTML pages as well? Sounds strange, but let's try it. Let me try to add a file. And here in this file, I only provide body. And insert body, I will provide paragraph. Hi, this is index from minimal API. All right, let me just refresh the application and now let's try to access index.html. Wow, awesome. Now you can see we have that content coming from the backend, the minimal API. And if I go to the network and refresh, now you can see that the response type is text/html, and that was the magic. So whatever content we want to expose, just need to place some folder somewhere in the minimal API, configure the file physical provider, and that will do all the magic you need. So that was today's video. In case of any question or query, do ask me in the comments, and see you in the next video.